Well, it was a big coaching year for Desi Hasler last year, but he failed to win the Coach of the Year at the Dally M's. He was able to achieve that in 2012 for the Manly Seagulls. I mean, the Bulldogs. Sorry, I forget, Desi. Good morning.
Good morning, boys. How are you?
Just thought I'd throw that one in early, Desi.
Yeah, mate.
We'll forgive you at some stage, the Seagulls supporters. But, mate, great season, great win last Friday. The intensity was there. Wow, it was a red-hot game.
Yeah, that was a pretty tough game. I think both sides would have pulled up pretty sore, and while there's probably a bit of drop ball to both sides, but
Yeah.
I think it was reflected by the intensity in the defence, and it's the type of game that you want to get the result here to have that week off.
Mate, I think, Des, if we ever needed a reminder that finals footy's any different to regular matches, I think we saw it on the Friday night because in that space of the week, things just, the stakes were high.
But yeah, they always are that time of year when it comes into finals, and that I think that game Friday night definitely had that intensity and that finals feel about it.
Des, did you feel that your old team tried to up the ante a little too much, whereas your team were a lot more controlled? I just felt watching that at times there was that physicality that boiled over for the Seagulls when the Bulldogs were a bit more reserved in that, equal to the task, but not making those fundamental errors when it came to that?
I think both sides play a fairly aggressive type of D, and I think it was just a really tough game, particularly in the forwards. Both sets of forwards, really got stuck into each other.
There's the week off. I guess you never know whether it's good or bad. What's your preference?
I think at this time of year, I think the week off is probably preferable. Just from the point of view that the games are very fast and they're very intense. And I think if you're nursing any little injuries, then it's always beneficial. So I think the majority of the sides would these days anyway, because the game is so hard that the week off is probably the preference to take.
Injury-wise, it looked like Ennis might have pulled up a bit ginger. How's he travelling, Des?
Oh, no, he's okay. No, he had a bit of bleeding up, but no, he's fine. So we just got the normal bumps and bruises, which will get time to patch up and get ready again in 2 weeks' time, either Canberra or South Sydney.
Des, who impressed you most of your players on Friday night, considering, for some it was foreign territory as far as finals footy was concerned?
I thought the man of the match in Aidan Tolman.
He's been good, hasn't he?
Was a good choice. It was probably always, and it probably could have gone to a number of forwards. It was always going to be that type of match. But Aidan Tolman came up with some really special plays that people don't see or go unnoticed. Particularly one try.
I just want to pick your brains, mate, when it comes to, and you would have similar players in the Bulldogs now, but having looked after and coached Stevie Maddai for a long time, how do you coach someone like that? I mean, he's a repeat offender when it comes to the high shots. He finds himself in strife again, Des. Do you try and, when you're coaching him, do you get frustrated with him? And what sort of message do you send to that sort of player?
No, you can't get frustrated with him. You can't get frustrated with the players. And I don't think Manny would be doing that. It was just one of those timing things, and it was just unfortunately a tackle that went a little bit awkward. It's probably, but it's also the way Stevie plays as well. So it's there's something that they're going to have to manage, but it's not so much the tackle now. It's more the carryovers. They're the things that you really have to manage.
It's not your concern anymore, but did you ever try and change his style?
We spoke more about more just about his timing. That it's you certainly you can't change his style.
Mm. And just another thing, there's a lot of talk about your amazing shift from the Seagulls to the Bulldogs this year and the success you're having, Desi. And a few experts have said that they wondered whether you believed you could take all your philosophies that have worked so well for a long time at the Seagulls and it work at another club. Is that right? Did you ever question whether your formula would work somewhere else?
Well, at the start of the year, it's we always just maintained that we wanted to be competitive across the board, and I think the side has been able to do that, but we're not there yet. So we've got still got 2 games to go.
Your old mate Terves, he pointed out a few of your decoy runners, and on Friday night you lost one try to a obstruction rule. During the next 10 days or so, do you tinker with your attack at all to make sure you don't lose tries with that obstruction?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's ways that we could have amended that, and there's ways in which we could have avoided that happening. So we'll definitely visit that and view that and get that sorted.
And how do you avoid that, mate? It's simple as trying to make sure players are aware of not making contact?
Exactly right. They're going to be supervising it pretty strictly now, so you're totally right. You just can't afford any contact whatsoever.
So just go through the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Des, Ben Barber, I mean, what a year, and so deserved of his great honour last week.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
But at the start of the season, it was probably evident that you were searching for a different number one. Has he surprised you this year?
Well, you're incorrect in saying that we were searching for a one, so you got that part wrong. That's what the media was saying.
Happy to get that wrong, but I mean,
and the media never lies.
So you didn't want Stewart or Durgan?
Mate, it was never. We were never. Brett Stewart was never ever going to leave Manly, and Durgan was fairly well entrenched at the Raiders. So it was a matter of working with Benny and. With the coaching staff, and the great thing about Benny is he's really worked hard at his game, and therefore he's received all the accolades that he has gotten.
He's an exciting player, isn't he? I mean,
he certainly is.
Oh,
he's great for the game.
Great to watch,
and he plays it very, very well and fair, and he's such a humble guy too, which is a great mentor.
Mate, come the weekend, Des. Do you tell the players you don't want to see them? Do you give them a semi-contact session? How do you keep them sharp?
All of that and the above.
Right.
No, we'll
because sometimes coaches in the past have flogged their players on a week off and it's backfired. Others have rested them; it's backfired.
I'm not sure what other clubs do, but there's a very we work to a plan, and there are certain markers and certain levels and distances and certain areas that we want to achieve physically over the week. So we'll measure that, and that's all done in pretty tight scrutiny with what the game needs and what the game provides.
Who are you going to play, mate? The Rabbits or the Raiders?
Oh, gee, it's really tough. I know it's the Rabbits will certainly want to bounce back.
Yeah.
After last weekend, and I think it's good news the fact that that young Merritt,
he's okay.
He's okay, which is really good. And then the Raiders are on such a roll at the moment. You've got to give Dave Fern a lot of credit for where he was at halfway through the year and where they are now. So they've got great momentum. So it's a really tough one to pick, particularly with I think South's home crowd. The fans are going to really help them at ANZ. They're going to need to against a Canberra side that is completing really well. So I think that's been a real secret for Canberra.
And the other semi that's of strong interest to me, Des, without Lyon and Matai, can the Seagulls beat the Cowboys?
Oh, that right Manly off. Oh, there's too many people out there saying that, and the Cowboys would be very, very nervous about that. The Cowboys coming off the game against Brisbane They're in control. Manly coming off a really dour, tight struggle from last Friday. That's when Manly are at their most dangerous.
Yeah.
Desi, good on you, mate.
Good
we
on
do
you,
thank
mate.
you very much for your time. I know it's not a week off, but try and put the feet up at some stage, Des, and enjoy the week.
Pleasure, gentlemen. Have a good day.
Well done,
season,
mate. Des Hasler there giving of his time to the Big Sports Breakfast, which we appreciate, the Bulldogs coach.